You've seen Street and Vert 100 times, but today it's the Lee Pipe Soul Bowl from Hermosa Beach, California, and Mervin's California Beach Bash.
How you doing? I'm Matt Salerno. You know, bowls is kind of a novelty to us because we grew up skating real street and vert ramps. Last year we got to try our hand at skating this huge bowling competition, but this year it's time we made our mark.
Matt Salerno put it quite well, save for a few of the veterans out here. Not many of these younger guys have much experience on a bowl. Should be exciting to see with the arsenal of tricks that they bring here this year, what they can do to this bowl ramp.
I've been skating bowls since I started skating.
Well, no big surprise there. Emmanuel Valeris is 24 years old. He's like a grandfather out here. He and Mike Budnick, very comfortable on this kind of a ramp.
15 different skaters, we'll see 15 different styles.
I love this event. That bowl is amazing. It is so deep. Did I mention how deep it was? Oh man, it is deep. So cool, huge round corners. It's like one big wave that's perpetually never breaking.
Shane Yoss, not known for being one to get intimidated, having fun out here, one of 7 Australians.
Inline skaters don't believe that you can really skate a bowl properly and make it look good at the same time, like the way skateboarders do. And I just want to prove them wrong.
Budnick, another one of the grandfathers out here. At 25 years old, he used every square inch of the ramp. So 15 skaters, a couple Americans, Jaron Grove, Andre Engelhardt, Tyler Shields, Michael Bennett, Chris Edwards, of course a huge Australian contingency, and the brothers from Japan. They've been on a roll in vert. Now they're going to try to step it up here in the bowl.
Street style and vert style collide on the Soul Bowl when we return.
The ASA Pro Tour is brought to you by Mervin's California, big brands, small prices, and by Ford, built Ford tough. And for the latest on skating, check out asskate.com. Feed your habit.
Welcome back to Hermosa Beach and the Mervin's California Beach Bash. So 15 competitors here in the finals. Each one gets 2 50-second runs, and only the best one counts for the final score.
So it's a little different than we're used to seeing on the Pro Tour. We're going straight into the finals. There is no prelims. See if Jaron can turn that to his advantage. Able to throw out the low score. Going 450 alley-oop soul.
Unfortunately, only good enough for a 40.75 in the round number 1. Scott Crawford, he's a very creative skater, known for doing different variations, but he also didn't use much of the corners of the bowl.
Yeah, the variation he did there was the frontside royale, drop-in, alley-oop, topside porn star. A lot of these guys that are very good on street and on vert should have an advantage on the ramp. We'll see how they use it. Toby Heslop, he's a 2-time reigning Australian national champion on street. Look at him carve around the bowl, but just getting on top on that sole, you still got to land your tricks.
Heslop with a decent line worked out. Up next, Mike Budnick with some of the best lines ever on a bowl.
Hey, this is Mike Budnick, and I'm going to teach you how to create a line when approaching a bowl. When you're skating a bowl, it's a little bit different than a vert ramp. When you're in a vert ramp, everything's back and forth, straightforward, same transitions on both sides. When you're approaching a bowl, the main key is speed. You really need to work on lines and just try different lines and find the corners that you pump through that will give you the most speed, that will get you to your next trick a little bit faster and a little bit harder.
It's a whole different aspect of skating. It's because you can't go up and down. You have to work out the lines and the transitions, and it's like learning to ride a new thing, like a vert ramp again or a street course. You got to work out. You got to work everything out. You got to think all the time, or else you just end up on the bottom.
I don't know, you just get that feeling that you're street skating. It's not like when you go skate ramps, when you skate a bowl, it's like you get that feeling where you're carving, but you're still on street, you know?
When you're airing in a bowl, it's a little bit different than a vert ramp. On a vert ramp, every time you come off the lip, you know that the lip is going to be in the same exact place when you come down. As soon as you throw a curve into the equation, now you've got coming off of one lip on one place, and if you err a little bit to the left, the lip could be a little bit further back or a little bit closer. So it's a little bit more of a timing issue.
I did it last year, and I was just having the hardest time just pumping around, and if you pumped in the wrong spot, you just end up at the bottom with no speed, and you got nowhere to go, and you look like an idiot. So I rode it like a vert ramp. I just went up and down.
Normally when you come onto a grind, you hit the grind and you kind of slow down and gradually slow down. When you grind into a corner, you can kind of pump while you're grinding and come out of the grind with speed. And when you're skating a bowl, I mean, coming out of a grind with speed is just unreal, because you come out of it and then boom, you can go right to another trick instead of grinding on a vert ramp almost to a stop and then trying to pump just to get to the other side. Grinding on a bowl is what bowl skating is all about.
If the bowl looks great, people are going to flip out and probably will ask for more competitions like that. Just, you know, it's going to be pure fun. Everybody's going to be stoked with riding something new.
Now finally we're going to have a stage to kind of perform in, and I don't know, I just look forward to see what some of the skaters are going to do out there.
Well, Budnick did magic. He right now sits in first place because of his lines.
Swimming pools are a lot harder to skate than a bowl is, because a bowl is made for made for skating, and a swimming pool's not. It's made for swimming. This bowl here is a lot like a big vert ramp that's blocked off at the end.
Matt using that to his advantage. You see that's like a huge vert ramp in the middle, as he mentioned. So some of these stronger vert skaters that have had less experience in a bowl are going to skate it more like a conventional vert ramp.
Eito Yasutoko, he's only 16. He hasn't had a whole lot of time in a bowl, but definitely getting creative and actually working the corners a bit. And here's something a little creative, putting him in a tie with Budnick for first place up on the railing. So that creativity pays off in round number one. If you look at the scores in general, they're a bit low out of 100. Guys are just getting warmed up, but there's still 5 strong ones still to go in round number one. When we come back, it'll be a brief trip down memory lane for Inline's short but sweet history in the bowl, and also we'll be back here with the Lee Pipe Soul Bowl.
Skateboarding, bowls have been around for years because that's what they first started skating, but when we started, all it was vert ramps and street parks. So it is quite a new thing for rollerblading itself. I mean, guys like a lot of the European guys and guys like Tommy Fry and some of the old guys can ride bowls really well because they were kind of from that era and they grew up riding bowls, but not very many of the new guys can ride them. So you'll see guys like Manuel and Mike Budnick do really well here.
It makes it interesting, especially for the vert skaters, because vert's always the same. It's a ramp and you go up and down on both sides. And with this one, you can use the corners and pump through the corners and get speed out of that. So you can get really creative on this.
So while we may not have the most extensive history out there on the bowls, we do have some history to speak of. Most of it coming from Australians and Europeans, from the likes of Tom Fry and Renee Holgren. Renee bringing that old school roller skate style.
Passing on a bit of a legacy here. Roller skating or bicycle stunt riding. Jess Darenforth, he's been on the pro circuit way back in the day. A lot of these guys, if there's one thing they passed on to the new generation of skaters, it was, if it can be ridden, we're going to do it.
Seen a lot of classic footage there from the Marseille Bowls, one of the premier spots in the entire world of action sports. And then Marco Hintze sessioning, going from Marseille to just a little backyard pool.
From France to Mexico, to Santa Rosa, to Australia, it doesn't matter where you are. Bowls and cement parks are starting to get built all over the world, and inline skaters, as they become more and more versatile, they're starting to ride everything.
So the Australians, Europeans, the Americans bring that style, this new versatility from all over the world right here to the Soul Bowl. Scott Crawford, Matt Solero, all the big boys bringing it out to the Soul Bowl.
A big vert bowl like this is a cross between street course and vert ramp riding. So it makes it difficult for the guys that don't ride both street course or vert.
Well, Andre Engelhardt, he's mostly known as purely a vert guy, but he's also got some talent on street courses. Check it out, going for the alley-oop soul in the corner.
Not only that, but these Americans seem to place an emphasis on the lip tricks. Takeshi Yasutoko, always a top threat on vert. Curious to see how he uses this vert soul bowl, blasting off those huge airs. We're used to seeing that with the huge Viking flip as we talk about Renee Holgren. There's a tribute to Renee, something that he pioneered, that upside-down Viking flip. Takeshi putting together a solid run, not really using those corners, but dynamic run. And then Chris Edwards, a longtime veteran.
Chris has been known for pretty much being able to skate anything, including even a bathtub. It's got a transition, Chris can ride it.
Well, the vert legacy can be traced back to that man, Chris Edwards. Some of the younger guns coming out as well, trying to bring a different style out here to the Soul Bowl. Sam Fogarty among them. A lot of Australians represent here, and we've had a chance to talk to a few of the Australians, telling us about their history with all the fabulous bowls they have there around Australia. See what kind of advantage it gives them. Sam Fogarty, you see him right off the bat using those corners, pumping his way all the way around the bowl.
Almost looking like he's having a little bit of trouble getting the height, though.
Yeah, and almost taking a page out of Mike Budnick's playbook, blasting off out of that corner, upside down McTwist, showing that vert style, and then incorporating the extension with the alley-oop fish brain, putting together a solid line. Really getting away from the strictly vert line, using all the corners, as we mentioned, using that extension, using every inch of the ramp.
Nice little X grind there. Now going up, little tap.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a great, great line. It lacks a little bit of amplitude and excitement, if you know what I mean, but it's a very, very good line.
Another alley-oop fish brain, this one on the regular coping, and that's going to be time for Sam Fogarty. 53.25, good enough right now for 5th place. We come to the close of round number 1. Sam Fogarty, he's stoked. He sits in the top 5. Takeshi Yasutoko with a bit of a different kind of a line. It had all the excitement, not all the corners. He still sits on top. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the reigning queen on vert and street, Fabolia da Silva, and get to see where skating has come in the last year among all the women. A big old party with the top women from around the world. It was the all-women's Pro-Am Beach Jam.
That's right, we opened up to the amateurs trying to qualify for a spot on the Pro Tour.
Ayumi Kawasaki, a former world champion and X Games champion, was out here. Fabolia da Silva, of course, and the young Fallon Heffernan absolutely rocking out here on the street course.
As well as top up-and-comers from all over the world, and Deborah West doing well enough to qualify for a spot on the ASA Pro Tour. Only woman here from the amateur ranks making it to the pros.
Skaters all the way from Brazil, from England, all over Europe, in fact, and of course Australia, Japan. The largest turnout from a women's comp so far in 2000. Pretty impressive on the talent level as well. All the different women using so many different ramps. Every apparatus on the street course was used. The vert ramp as well. Fabolia, no surprises there that she absolutely flew above the ramp.
Flew above the field as well. Fabolia is still light years ahead of the nearest female competitors, and Fallon absolutely killed it on street. A lot of promise out there for the street women.
Fallon Heffernan with a solid 50.50 to take first in a huge women's street comp. On vert, the rivalry continued, but again, on top, the queen, Fabolia.
Fabiola is a really good girl. She has a really good heart. She's very generous. And right now, she's skating better than ever.
Fabiola is so dope. She is such a good skater.
Fabiola is the best female vert skater in the world. She's the best female skater in the world. She's done a lot for both sides.
Testing. Okay. If you feeling this beat up in your chest, get out your seat. So you know the rest.
Oi, meu nome é Fabolia da Silva, tenho 20 anos e sou de São Paulo, Brasil. I'm just a regular person that likes to skate The only thing I do is skate. I just love to watching people skate so I can learn new tricks. They inspire me when I watch people skate, no matter if it's a guy or girl. I live off skating, so I don't do anything besides skating, you know? It's my life right now. It's the only thing that I do. Just, I'm super simple. I think Brazil is very different than USA. Just the culture and like food, you know, like all that kind of stuff. I love Brazil and I wish I could still skate there and make money just being there, you know? But it's not possible right now. I think it's a little hard being a girl skater because just people sometimes is not very nice, you know? They don't respect that much girl. I think you shouldn't be judged as a bad person just because you don't skate good. Personally, I don't like judging anybody, you know? I just like to skate with everyone, doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's just, I think people should respect each other, you know?
MCs plus your number one choice for the verbal gifted. We be the first ones you call if your part ain't lifted.
I just want to be remembered as a nice person, you know, and polite, and just that loves to skate. And it's just, you know, like girl that rips some stuff sometimes. I'm trying really hard to push myself and learn a little bit street and vert. I think if you learn how to skate, everything makes you a better skater. I just don't like to hear people talking bad about girls and that kind of stuff just pushed me to do more and more, you know, just not to only prove for myself, but for people that I can do, you know. I don't listen to people what they say. I just go and have fun, and I know I can do it. I think if a guy can do it, why not a girl? Just never say I can't or I'm a girl, okay? Because you can do it. I know you can do it, you know.
Physically figuring out our plan can be complicated. Beyond your comprehension.
Well, do it indeed. Fabiola da Silva has won more competitions for street and vert since the beginning of her skating career in 1996. She leads in the rankings once again, year 2000 on street and vert.
From the number one ranked female to the number one ranked vert skater, Eito Yasutoko, he's going to try and overtake his younger brother when we return.
Hey, Pro Tour is brought to you by Slim Jim. When you need a little excitement, snap into a beefy, spicy Slim Jim. By Paul Mitchell at fine salons everywhere. Got a problem? See your hairstylist. And by Naya, pure spring water. Hungry for life, thirsty for Naya.
We're down to the best of the best. The rest have skated. Eito and Takeshi on the vert ramp. Eito right now absolutely blasting some huge airs just like his first round.
You know, I'd love nothing more than to overtake his younger brother who's holding on to that number one spot right now, or if nothing else, to take second place outright. Right now stuck in a tie with Mike Budnick as he goes topside sole around the corner, straight into the alley-oop sole, putting together a sweet line as he goes upside down, getting down into a ho-ho Joe two-handed invert.
Now, remember, in his first run, he actually went up and stalled on the railing outside the ramp. There he is again. Jumping back in, that's a lot harder than he makes it look.
And then straight into true spin alley Mizu, absolutely raising the stakes, putting together a hot run here in the second round. Trying to get the audience hyped. He's been doing that for the past couple of years, getting the crowd behind him. But he definitely feeds off their energy. You can see, blasting off those airs.
This ramp is a lot bigger than it looks. 720 flat spin.
Yeah,
you know, it's one thing to pull these tricks on vert. It's another thing to step it up and do it in foreign territory.
Well, you see there, he did improve on his first round score. So that moves him into second place outright above Mike Budnick. Now it's time for Takeshi Yasutoko. Knows that he's got the number one wrapped up, so it's a glory run.
Takeshi is just going so big. You know, I asked him what his number one goal was with skating, and it wasn't, I want to learn a 1260. It was, I want to go bigger than anybody else. And right now, he's basically been doing that. Check that out, right around the bowl. Can't criticize his line at all this time.
No, definitely using more of the bowl in this round. Like to see that. Upside down with the forward 900. I tell you what, this kid, he is only 13 years old. Hard to imagine where he's going to be. I mean, if this is the level he's at right now, where's he going to be over the next few years? I mean, he's virtually becoming untouchable as it is. Mixing up those lip tricks, backside, dropping down the sole. He's got the forward 900s. He did the hip-hop invert, bouncing on his hand upside down. I tell you what, that is a tough kid to beat right there. Takeshi Yasutoko, only 13 years young. Look at this huge Viking flip going above the cameraman's head. That's like 7, 8 feet out. And then switching up the lip tricks, backside, drop down the sole. When you put together the airs and the grinds like that, hard to beat.
73.75.
Which brings us to the top three. Who would have thought in third place, an American taking a podium position, Mike Budnick from Irvine, California, taking third place. So in the top two, what a story. In the Soul Bowl competition, the Yasutoko brothers. In second place, the older of the Yasutoko brothers, Eito Yasutoko, which means that 13-year-old Takeshi Yasutoko won the Soul Bowl competition out here. Congratulations, Takeshi Yasutoko, and all of our competitors in the Mervyn Soul Bowl competition.
Mike Budnick with the beautiful sweeping backside grinds, sweat stances around the corners, one of the best lines of the day. He takes third. These names may be familiar. That's because you've seen them before on the ASA Pro Tour. The tour moves on next to Milwaukee. August 14th, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard on ESPN2. And, of course, catch Milwaukee Street August 31st at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Following that, it's Woodward Vert and Woodward Street. It's skating paradise rolling on. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the GOAT Network.